I've heard this rumor going around about pinkies being indented because you're holding your cell phone for way too long. Phone pinky, is this possible? And how can you fix it? Hi, I'm Dr. Justin Lin, biomechanical specialist at Rehab and Revive. Let's investigate what is really going on here and our solution. Is phone pinky a real medical condition? The medical world says no, but check Google and you'll read about the buzz. Maybe you'll think otherwise. It's hard to deny what's going on because my pinky looks like everybody else's pinky. So how is this happening to us? People are one-handing it and just scrolling all the time. And you can't just treat the pinky like this and not expect it to give out. Over time, there's pressure. Naturally, something's got to give. And so I do it too, and this is what's going on. So the fix and solution is not just to treat the pinky, but you have to treat all the way up, the whole row to the wrist. You want to think of it like a bunch of boxcar trains that have derailed. It goes in all different directions. Pow, 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 pow. So you got to find the restrictions and you want to treat it accordingly all the way down, segment by segment. So let's get to the best and quickest way to fix this. Okay, so you can see it almost slots perfectly like a game of Tetris. This rests here. It almost like sits perfectly right here. Then all we're doing is hanging out here. So yeah, you can imagine over time that this is going to be a big problem. And so what's happening here is you got the weight of, and some people got bigger phones than this one, but the weight is going this way and naturally you're curling it this way. And then, so it's unlocked. You know, the best angle is when it's straight, but I mean, who's holding something like that really? So, and so we need to deactivate that because what's going to happen is this is going to go down, this is going to go down, this is going to fight it and go up. There's muscles that are inside your hands that are pulling, and so that's why not naturally it's already kind of getting warped or degraded, and this is better than some people's. I've seen it like really worse. I was like, almost like it got fractured, but you know, you're doing that all the time if that's what happened. But now what's going to happen is, so this goes down, or rotates, this goes up, this segment also kind of starts spewing over. That's why I can't close my fingers. Is that interesting? Like, it's really hard to close my fingers. So we got to do something here and then ultimately something here. And if I just kind of run my fingers, like this is nice, right? This is pretty good. This, like, it just runs really straight. But this one, just as I run my outside, it just starts getting like, it almost feels like, like I said, the analogy of the boxcar trains, or the trains that are with the boxcar getting derailed. So that's what we got to do. So we've got some cool things, a Chinese finger trap or a nylon surgical finger trap. You can find these on Amazon or eBay. But what you want to do is you want to create some space, right? So that's going to be your solution. You're going to create your space right here, and you're just going to create your space. Now, there's a couple things you can do here. You can kind of move it up and down, and you can use your own fingers if you don't have a finger trap, but I like the leverage here. So I'm just kind of doing that. I'm kind of pressing into the table, right? Like in a perfect world, you should be able to like just kind of grip it or do like a finger slide. You know, if I'm doing that now before I treat it, like it's just weird. It doesn't even go straight. Like this goes straight, but then if you look at this one, it goes like sideways and then it rotates. Like that's not straight. So after we treat this, that's what I'm hoping that it happens. So we're going to do this here. We're going to traction here. You can traction, you can pull, and you can try different angles. You want to turn it palm up, turn it palm down. If you want, you can have that or have someone else pull it, but really this is the culprit. This is getting beat up. So this is where maybe a tool like a little massage stick can do. And now all I'm doing is actually I'm pressing into the, you can see the indentation on the table. I'm just trying to press it down and then here. And I'm just kind of really pushing things towards, and it's tender. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to lie here. This doesn't feel like anything when I'm out here, but the moment I'm here, you can use your thumb, a little key grip here, but you want to get this blocked here, and you can really do that. As a person treating it, I would be holding here, and so I can just keep tractioning it, and then right there, and that's tender right now. I'm telling you that's not a happy finger, but now it's starting to get a little looser, and so let's kind of check this as a retest. So you know here, and now you're seeing it's going a little straighter. So that's already a good sign. right? It was like kind of weird, and we could do it before and after. It was kind of like scraping the side here, but we got that. But the next thing we want to do is you could either use that or you could use your thumb. Here, you can start pressing it this way. So I'm now finding the next hardest. Oh, there it is. So this one I was pushing this way. That was hard. This one now, which makes sense. Everything's going to get warped. It's going to compensate, and it's going to derail itself. So let's try it again. You can see that. I'm just gripping. I can do it from both ends here. Try to get that. And then it's starting to loosen up and getting a little bit. So yeah, we want to fight that. And then the next thing is this segment here, metacarpals. So we can, I just did that. It made a little pop. So that's already starting to look better, right? That's already straighter. And you can do it on this end too. So you want to do both sides. If you don't have a tool, then you can just use your thumb and really push down, and you can move your wrist around, or you can move kind of like these things in directions that, so I kind of have this surface here, and I'm pushing different things, or I'm doing it this way. I can kind of weight shift, and I can tell you, the moment I go this, you can see this ripple, it doesn't go there. So we have wrist mobilization videos. We can add that in the list below. And you're just kind of nicely putting that, or for me, it's here. So you got to work this whole thing all the way up to the wrist. This whole row is so important to restore and get that alignment and get that strength. So you can take a look at that now. Wow, that's already a lot better, right? Compared to this side, it doesn't even know how to track straight because the muscle so much has pulled. I can feel this actually. It doesn't even go straight, but this one's a lot better. So that's going to be the key. You want to keep working it all the way. It should be a nice row. This, like I said, feels nice. This is starting to feel better. So it's not fully done yet. So I'm going to just keep working it in and out. There's other ways you can solve this, obviously, and but I think most people are kind of one-handing it, right? And that's the way it is, right? So unless we grow a sixth appendage that actually creates function for cell phone use, then, we're going to have to keep taking care of our hands. And I can tell you, look at that. Look at that. They can close now. Yeah, yep, this one's still having a tough time, but this finally closes. So, and it already looks a lot better than this. I'll tell you that. And so the other solution you can have once you actually restore is actually just, instead of doing this, is just flip it on its side, because then you're really just holding it together. Now, who's really doing it that way? I don't know, but this is definitely just a habit. You just have to break that habit and use two hands, do it like this, and have fun with it. But that's kind of the solution. So we'll just kind of do the same thing on the other side. Let's see if I can crack the code here. This is all happening because I have bad habits just like the rest of you. And this, phone pinky is, really going to be, I think, something, right? But you have solutions. And, this is probably the most practical of all of them. So I'm going to start doing that. And I'm going to start pressing, try different angles. Do that here. And you can see that, yep, that hurts. That's tender. There we go. And then, oh, that's really tender here. I barely have to push down. I'm not even, but right here, woof, that's like, I know I actually more right-handed, but obviously I've done stuff with the phone. I've abused it and misused it. So there. So let's see. Oh, there it started there. But I can tell you something here. Something's up here. So we're going to kind of do some of that work here. And I'm just going to, going to this side. Ooh, that's juicy and painful. So there you go. Actually, I feel something stuck here too. So we want to go all the way up. There we go. And then let's see if there's anything interesting on this side. Nothing crazy. A little tender here, maybe the muscle. So I can just kind of like spread my fingers, curl them, straighten them, and just release that. But, it came together. So there you go. I'm just as excited as you guys are at home. There you go. Look at that. Much straighter. So, this is a detriment. And here's your solutions. You can change your habit, or you can grow a sixth appendage, or you can do this method and just keep restoring it. If that's what you like to do, this bad habit, you got to maintain it. You got to make sure it's all in one row. All right, thanks. Let us know your thoughts on our video. Leave us some love or questions in the comments box below. Please like and subscribe. We appreciate your support. I'm Dr. Lin. Remember, we heal smarter.